Good morning to all, and happy New Year to everyone who is watching from around the world, wherever you are. My name is Mike Hathcote, and welcome to the Daily Voiceover Huddle. It is January 1st, 2025. That's hard to believe, guys. It's just as far to 2050 as it is from 2000, so that's a little crazy. That's how math works. But anyway, glad you're here. And once again, Happy New Year to you. Go ahead and chime in on the live chat from wherever you're watching or listening from. And what I want to talk about today, and by the way, Bill is still on vacation. He's not actually on vacation from VO. He's just on vacation from the live stream. He just had needed a good rest for a minute. So anyway, he'll be back tomorrow, I believe. So you got me for one more day, and back to it. So go ahead and chime in from where you're watching or listening. And one of the things that I want to talk about in the meantime, and by the way, also, for those of you who maybe weren't on yesterday, we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions as they relate to VO. So if you've got a New Year's resolution for voiceover, drop that in the chat as well. And I'll get to those here in a few minutes when we do the shout outs. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you find this content helpful. And check the description below if you have any questions about anything at all, voiceover training and or blueprint. So back to the topic. While everybody's putting their New Year's resolutions in, I want to talk about a monthly contest that we do in the private DeWees members voiceover training group on Facebook. And we do it every month. In fact, we're going to be doing it this morning. I'm going to be posting it a little bit later today. And basically, it's a simulated audition that is very similar. In fact, it's identical to any audition opportunity that you may have out there in the wild. And we call it fake audition. Pretty clever, right? And the way it works is I post real commercial copy that has either already been, put out there or is something that maybe I've auditioned for or something. And the members of the Blueprint, the members of the DeWees members Facebook group submit their auditions, just like you would if you were submitting an audition to an agent or a roster or anywhere else. They submit their auditions. I go through and I check the ones that are, the finalists, we'll call them, just maybe the top 5 or so that, are really, really good. And at that point, I send those finalists over to Bill and he chooses the winner. And the best point is that winner will actually not only just get great recognition, but they also will get a fully produced audio and video demo of that spot that they can then go and put it on their, YouTube channel or their website or put it into their demo reel, whatever. So it's a great opportunity to kind of get practice in doing an audition. And because really, if you think about it, for those of you who are kind of in the game and kind of know the audition process, whenever you do an audition, you never really get to hear who you're up against. You never get to hear your competition, and you really never even get to know who they picked if they didn't pick you. And if they pick someone else, the only way you would ever really hear that is if maybe you were out, and you just heard the spot somewhere or saw it on TV or whatever, and you'd be like, "Oh, I read for that one." Well, this way, not only can you hear your competition, which will kind of give you some insight into different ways of doing certain reads. You may hear someone else's submission and be like, I never thought about it like that. I could have done it like that. Or whoever the winner is, once again, you can kind of get that instant, feedback or instant way of looking at it to be like, yes, okay, now I see what they were looking for. So it kind of helps work that audition muscle and get you kind of prepared for the real thing when it's out there. Here's another little quick tip for you. for those of you who do auditions from time to time, whether it's on a pay to play or a roster or an agent or whatever, usually pay to plays are where you can really do this. But I want to caution you against getting so wrapped up in whether or not they listened to your demo, or I'm sorry, listened to your audition, liked it, gave you a thumbs up. Usually they have tools on the pay to plays where you can go and see whether or not they've played your audition and liked it or shortlisted it or whatever. I want to caution you against getting wrapped up in that situation, meaning it's just going to frustrate you. If you keep going and checking to see if they've listened to it and if they've liked it and if they've given you a thumbs up or shortlisted you, it's going to drive you crazy. You'll know about it if they pick you. Those pay to play systems are set up where you're going to get a notification if they want to work with you. Same with if you're, doing a regular audition through an agent, they're going to let you know if you won. But until then, don't get so wrapped up into whether or not they actually listened and liked your stuff. It's gonna frustrate you. It's gonna drive you crazy. You're gonna be like, well, they gave me a thumbs up. Why didn't they like me? Well, maybe it's because there were 50 other people who submitted or more, and they liked someone else, maybe just a little bit better. Maybe they liked yours, but maybe they liked someone else also. So beauty in voiceover is in the ear of the beholder. I don't care if you've given the most technically perfect performance and read. It's, sonically good. It's performance-wise, it's good. I don't care if it's the best on the block. If that person who's doing the deciding, the deciding, the buyer, if they if your voice doesn't match the voice that they've already got in their head, their preconceived notion of what the voice needs to sound like, it's gonna be a long shot that you win. Now, maybe you might change their mind, but most of the time, the buyer already has an idea of the sound that they want for this spot or this project. And if you don't match that, it's gonna be hard to get that. So, what you do, you send the audition and you never look at it again. Forget about it. Forget about it, right? Send it out, you're done. Don't keep going and checking, you'll know if they've picked you. So, that's what the cool thing is about the fake audition is it gets you in that process of, submitting auditions, and the bonus, though, is you get to actually hear, your competition, and you get to, uh, hear who we actually pick as the winner. Gives you a little bit of insight on what the listener may have been looking for. So that's the fake audition. If you want more information about that, check out some of the links below for the DeWees members Facebook group. It's a great little community where you can actually watch us work live. Bill and myself, we actually stream some of our work live as long as it's not in a non-disclosure situation. We'll post those as we're working in real time, so you can actually watch us work live in our studios. Um, and it's just a great way to kind of meet with like-minded people and share ideas and answer questions and ask questions of those in the group. It's a great little community. So it's our little VO family on Facebook. So, all right, let's jump back over here and let's talk about some more New Year's resolutions and or some shout outs. All right. Doug from Greensboro, North Carolina is the first in the room today. So good morning to you, Doug. Ben from the UK. It's probably evening there, I would imagine. So good evening to you, Ben. Terry says, good morning and happy new year from Falston, Maryland. It's 2025. Let's get this VO party started. Rock and roll, man. Let's do this. Celeste says, howdy, howdy from Newark, Delaware. Paul in Arkansas. John from Denver. I need to get back to Denver. It's been a minute since I've been back to Denver. I miss it. Tim says, happy new year to all. Here's to a prosperous, I talk for a living, a prosperous 2025. Voiceover with Love, my first ever live. Oh, if this is oh, it is. It's Love Wise, another one of the Blueprint members and, Facebook members, and we worked on a demo a while back, and so she's kicking off, her new year with joining her first live stream. So welcome to you, love. Ethan says, "Happy New Year from Toronto, Ontario." Good morning from Nancy in Yankton, South Dakota. Happy New Year. Nephi, good morning from Knoxville. Go Vols. Heidi, good morning from Las Vegas. Happy New Year, everyone. Anybody have any New Year's resolutions? I know a lot of you are on here every day, so you probably posted yesterday, but if you're brand new, post those New Year's resolutions in here as they relate to VO. Kathleen, good morning from Evanston, Wyoming. Edward, good morning, friends, and Happy New Year from NYC. Well, Edward, did you head down to watch the ball drop last night? I went to bed at 10 o'clock. Well, 10 o'clock my time. It was midnight East Coast time, but um, I went to bed about 10 o'clock. So I didn't party at all last night. I just had a nice relaxing evening and went to bed. Maybe some of you who are on the stream this morning or partied a little too hard last night. I won't hold it against you. Troy says, "Happy New Year. Starting my day with positivity, listening to your wisdom and knowledge." Well, thank you, Troy. I appreciate that. Rusty says, "Good morning from the UP." Jim, Happy New Year from Northeast Indiana. And John from ATL says, "Happy New Year." Rob says, "Happy New Year. Glad you're in there bringing the good word to all of us." Well, thank you, Rob. Well, this thing jumps. I hate it when this chat jumps and I miss and I lose my place. DeCarlos, Happy New Year, everyone, from sunny Las Vegas. DeCarlos is another one I worked with recently on a demo. I believe we worked on a commercial and a narration demo for DeCarlos. Gail says, "Happy New Year." Voice 156 says, "Happy New Year and hangover from Holland." Happy New Year to you. Denise says, "Happy New Year from LI." Kate says, "Good morning from Marietta, Georgia." She also says, "My rule of thumb is to audition and move on. If they like my audition, they'll let me know. Just keep going." Amen to that, Kate. Don't get all in your head about, whether they liked it or not. What is that poem that says, "If you love something, let it go. If it comes back to you, it's yours"? Same thing with an audition. Wally says, "Sending great New Year's energy to your VO family, or to our VO family. Looking forward to a VO on the road. Thrive in 25, Annapolis, Maryland." Thank you very much, Wally. Troy says, "New Year's resolution for him is listening to you and becoming more positive and being less negative all year long." Yes. By the way, I don't know if I should announce this or not, but um, we are planning on doing a class, and we don't have dates or anything quite yet, but we're planning on doing a class all about your mindset. Okay, stay tuned for more information coming soon, but that is probably the biggest factor in in what we do, and in a lot of other and pretty much every other career out there, but mindset and imposter syndrome and positivity and negativity and all that kind of stuff, if you get in your head, it's gonna be really hard to do this job well. So we're gonna be talking about some of that stuff coming up, later this month, I believe. So just stay tuned for that. That is gonna be a lifesaver for many of you, myself included, who needs to stay in that positive mindset to make this an actual success. So stay tuned for something about that. Denise says, "I highly recommend the VO Blueprint to anyone who wants to get into VO or catapult their career. There's no better support and guidance from this team." Well, thank you, Denise. Thank you so much. And Denise is very participatory in the Blueprint, in all of our webinars that we have, our live webinars that we have every day. And the more you participate in those kinds of groups and settings, the faster you can grow your business. There's plenty of people who kind of come into these classes and stuff. Oh, look, it's Ringo. You want to say hi, Ringo? Let's say hi to everybody. This is my buddy Ringo, and he's a Labradoodle. He's 10 years old, and he's got jammies on. So, anyway, Happy New Year from Ringo. Okay. Um, yeah. So, if the more you participate in some of this training, the faster you can accelerate your growth in business. Uh, as I was saying, there were plenty of people who kind of come in as a fly on the wall and kind of watch uh, from the perimeter, and that's fine. You can still learn a lot doing that, but when you participate, you kind of get into that rhythm, and it's just much easier to kind of get the ball rolling and keep the ball rolling when you're participating. So, uh, Denise is great at participation. Oh, let's see. Scotty says, "Happy New Year from Brookings, South Dakota." Kirk says, "Good morning from Greenville, South Carolina." Love says, "Her resolution is after years of stalls, I am nose down to the full time to go full time by the end of this year. Blueprint, do it. Value is priceless." Thank you, love. Appreciate that. And yes, lots of people in the Blueprint have used it to go full time because that's the dream, right? That's the goal for most people. There are a few people who join the Blueprint who, are retired maybe, and they just kinda want a little side time, little part-time side hustle just to kinda make ends meet or supplement their retirement income. Most of the people, though, who participate in the Blueprint are looking to make it a full-time deal, and that's really kind of what it's created for, and that's to drive you in all aspects of this career into making it a full-time gig so that you can tell it to the man. Becky says, "Happy New Year's Eve, Mike, or New Year's, Mike. Gonna spend the day with family, then back at it tomorrow." Well, that sounds fun, but I've got more work to do today. It never stops. So I'll do a little bit of work today, but I'm also gonna do some relaxing too. Joe says, "Happy New Year from Miami, Florida." Well, I hope it's as warm down there as it is here today in Phoenix. It's gonna be in the high 70s today, so that's gonna be nice. Hopefully, you've got the same. Kate says, "My goal is to get my VO career cranked up." Very cool. Well, it starts right here every morning, whether it's myself or Bill. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be encouraging you. We're gonna be answering questions. We're gonna be, giving you cool little tips and tricks and things to help accelerate and grow your business. So keep it here every morning or evening or afternoon or wherever you happen to be in the world. Edward says, "No ball drop for me in New York City. Pretty fierce thunderstorm last night, though highly recommended everyone experience it." Yeah, absolutely. I've never done it. I've been to New York a bunch of times, but I've never been there on New York City. But I can imagine what a crazy, crazy time it is. And yes, I would say that's probably on a lot of people's bucket list. Kathleen says, "Hello, Ringo. Happy New Year." Hey, Kathleen says hi. Jay King says, "Had to rewind to see Ringo." Ringo's my buddy. He's my booth buddy. He comes in here and hangs out sometimes, although sometimes he can be a little bit loud and, meaning like he'll snore or stuff like that, so we, have to move him out, but, this booth is, by the way, so good that I can normally record with my door here open. Most people who record in kind of a a booth like this, they'll keep the door shut. Well, this is done so well that I can actually record most of the time with the door open, unless like the air conditioner is running really, a lot or whatever, but it's good. Oh, and speaking of booths, Edward says his resolution is a studio upgrade and fresh demo. Fantastic. Um, just remember, if you're upgrading your studio, it doesn't have to look good. It just has to sound good. So, I mean, yes, this is a nice booth that I'm in, and but I started for several years in a closet right across the office here, And just remember, if it sounds good, it is good. I don't care if it's a blanket booth or, whatever you wanna make it out of. If it sounds good, it is good. Most of the time, you're not gonna be on camera anyway, so just make a good one. There's plenty of, tips and videos and stuff on how to do a DIY booth, unless you are gonna go ahead and pull the trigger and get, a big professionally made booth. I went ahead and splurged on this one. This is called Voice Suite, and they're out of Salt Lake City or Park yeah, Salt Lake City, not Park City, Salt Lake City. And, or is it Park City? Hang on, now I'm confused. Hang on. It is. It's Park City, Utah. They've got a thing on the front there for Park City. Hey, focus, focus. Park City, Utah, Voice Suite. And I went ahead and splurged and I got a big old 6 foot by 8 foot booth. And so there's plenty of room for activities. And before I had to like move the chair out if I wanted to stand up and stuff like that. So got plenty of room in here for myself and Ringo. Johnny says, Happy New Year, everyone, from Cambridge, UK. This is the year for my VO plans to really get going. Awesome. Keep going, Johnny. Inch by inch by inch. It's all about just moving forward. I don't care if you just do one little thing on the side. It does not matter. Just keep that momentum going forward and you will get there. All right. I have got to get to work and Ringo has got to eat. So I am going to bid you all farewell and once again wish you a happy, happy new year. Join us here every single morning for more about the VO blueprint, about how to move your business forward and how to succeed in voiceover. And I will talk to you all very soon. Break a lip.